Hey there, welcome to another illuminating week. We're looking at the 14th through the 21st of July 2019 using the information from the Illuminating Journey Cards that I created with the help of the Akashic Records. I'm Jen Duchene, jenduchene.com. So I've already prepared the cards. The key things here about this week, besides looking at the numbers 14 to 21, which feels very expressive, like this kind of expansion of us being willing to speak out more, to be heard more, and to come into some kind of playfulness or creativity with our own voices, with the voices of others, instead of trying to battle it out. And we have a partial lunar eclipse that's happening on the 16th. So that's very powerful. There's a lot of powerful movement going on in terms of kind of raising the consciousness, the female energy coming alive and taking more of a central role. So this kind of hitting this energy of this is the way it needs to be going forward. And we also have a lot of other activity going on. So we have a lot of retrogrades and a lot of other activities. So let's see what the first card is. So this first card that's been coming up a lot for me personally, the 18 Soul Portal card. So what I'm getting from this card, this energy, is this kind of allowing, this central figure here sitting amidst the water, kind of there's this old pool, this energy of this kind of temple that, so between worlds in a sense, between the temple and what is man-made and nature. And there the person sits with their arms out, kind of allowing the energy to come into her being, so receiving the energy, and it feels very healing as well as informative. I get the sense with all this water and this energy coming through, it's this idea of allowing, right? The allowing of what is, as opposed to I need to control and force something. I need to control how I experience it, what it means, and instead just allowing the self to receive without needing to fix it, without needing to understand it, with the mind, without needing to explain it, just allowing. And as this energy comes in, receiving the energy with love, with joy, with allowance, that idea, I'm expanding, I'm receiving, I'm allowing, I'm accepting this healing, this beauty, this information that's coming into me. And at the same time, as I'm sitting in this, I am being healed. I'm healing, I'm part of the healing. So each one of us is part of the healing. This idea of being between what is man-made and what is nature-made, and going, how do we bring the two together? And that's through this flow, through this idea that sometimes as humans, we tend to force things. We want things to be a certain way. We want them to mean a certain thing. We want to control what other people are saying. So what I'm also getting from this is it's time to kind of, just go, I hear what you're saying, and that's okay. And not having so much kind of triggering from it, but more of, this is the way this person thinks, and so I need to kind of go around them. I need to flow like water around rocks and get where I need to go. So instead of being fixated on what appears, sorry, there's birds, I'm house sitting, and there's birds cheeping away, very cute, they're adding to the conversation. So this idea of being in the flow, truly being in the flow of what you're focusing on. What is it that you need to bring in? The compassion, the love. The 9 also is the number of wisdom, of love, of kind of letting go of that need to show people you're someone, somebody important, or what's going on. We all have that to some degree or another, and this card is saying it's time to let that go. as much as you can, and really step into this place of being of service, of being in compassion, of being focused on what needs to be done, as instead of pointing fingers. Yeah, it's just like, just get going, right? Interesting. So the next card is a number card, level 5. And it's funny when you see this 5, because for me, when I'm looking at the shape, it's almost like it can be a wheelchair, but it's a wheelchair kind of in motion, like going forward. Like, so even though you may be handicapped in some way you may feel like, oh, all these people have the power, all these other people have the money, whatever it is. It's like this thing is in motion with the handicap. That means you get going and do what you can. You focus on what you need to and how to connect and bring compassion and bring things in together into a motion and balance. So there's that, like we had last week, in the sense, this the picture I'm seeing is kind of, holding that pole and balancing along the high wire. And it's like this is what you have to do. You need to keep going, even though it's a challenge, even though it's a struggle, even though it's change, and it all feels overwhelming. So it's like, just focus on what the next thing is. Focus on keeping your balance. Focus on harmonizing. Focus on kind of moving past the noise of your mind, the noise of what, the kind of anger you feel towards these people, towards situations. Just kind of allow yourself to move past it and to be in that place of receiving light, receiving love, receiving healing, and letting go and going, oh, the more I move forward, the more the stuff, that stuck stuff, is moving away. So it's kind of like you expressing yourself through expression, through motion, through going ahead. And it isn't that kind of like going ahead like, oh, get out of my way. It's much more this kind of joyful motion. I'm in motion. I'm going forward. Like, I'm just going forward, right? And I'm enjoying it. I'm loving the fact that I can move my body. And if you think about it, somebody who is handicapped and may not be able to, and when I say handicap, I mean there's something that is that they experience that makes it difficult for them to do things the way we normally do it. And so this idea is that, I'm in my wheelchair, I'm in my, other mode of transportation, and so I'm not being controlled by that idea that I'm missing something, or the idea I'm missing, there's something wrong with me. Instead, it's like, this is who I am, this is what I need to do, and I'm just, I'm bringing my joy, I'm bringing my courage, I'm bringing my sense of what needs to be now, what needs to change and go, and how can I get that going, instead of being stuck in, oh, somebody else is supposed to do it, or why are they doing it? Like, it's just this kind of energy, and I feel this force of all of us engaging in this, and all kind of joyfully. There's a dog as well. Roscoe, no boy. Good boy. Good boy. He's a good boy. All of us kind of taking whatever it is, whatever our personal handicap is, whatever it is that feels incongruent in us, or isn't enough, or doesn't feel right, and just kind of going, regardless, I'm going forward. And this kind of joyful band of warriors, joyful band of singers that, we're playing out of tune and we're just doing our own thing, but we're doing it kind of together, like we're moving in the same direction. So I feel a very strong energy towards that. And interesting, so here we have the soul portal number 5. So we just had the 5, and what's catching my eye when I look at the 2 of them is the pink. There's a lot of pink. So the pink is the color of the high heart, where we find this great compassion, this great love that sweeps us off our feet, in a sense. It sweeps us away from our density, from our ignorance, from our feeling not enough, and just allowing all this love, this compassion to flood into our being, so we can actually stand in what is true for us. And what's interesting for me here is this idea of this being, if it's you or the energy you're kind of connecting to, this idea of being in the roses with the pomegranates, you know, this growth, there's enormous growth that happens when you're willing to go through the maze of this difficult time, and be amazed by the maze. And one of the key things with the maze is you can't see where you're going, because the fence, the hedges are so high that all you can see is just what's in front of you. More hedge, right? All this green to the side of you and in front of you, and very little awareness of what's happening behind you or in front of you, but knowing you're on the path. So it really is a sacred journey to take this path and go here to this beloved, you know, city of the heart. The idea of bringing compassion, of bringing love, of bringing this healing energy from the heavens, from the world, from what's outside of us, that is activated by us kind of seeing others in pain, right? Like we have a lot of things going on where other people are in pain, other people are suffering. And so as we allow this energy to cleanse us and heal us and propel us forward, as we're moving forward in the water, we're being pushed into the maze and going, you know, in our chariots, in our wheeled chariots, kind of wheelchair type chariots, and we're being pushed forward to remember what is sacred. Why are we here? We're here to learn how to expand our ability to love, sisterly love, brotherly love, our connection to each other, to humanity, to the world we live in. And so this is all part of that path of going, right, this is who I am, this is my journey, this is mine to do, and I'm doing it. And I'm not alone. I have the divine with me. I have all these other people that are going and in motion, moving forward, letting go of the illusion of what was important or needed to be respected. So it feels like there's a lot of that energy of kind of the things we've held to be true and sacred to us as a society, which is a lot of just jargon and talk and fakeness, is needing to be kind of swept away with this water, with this liquid, with this healing, and this allowing this beautiful energy and awareness to come in, moving us through the energy, going beyond, right? Just moving us forward, no matter what we think is holding us back, feeling the flow, being pushed by the water, by the healing, into the maze, into these paths, and kind of going forward. And it's a joyful, joyful song. We are so delighted to be alive. In fact, 5 is the number of life. So we know that this is the essence of being alive right now, is to take that joyful leap and go, okay, this is what I need to do. I just need to move forward with joy and, you know, kind of a sense of abandonment, in a sense, not being abandoned by others, but a sense of I'm letting go of everything that's, you know, all these things that I've told myself and other people have told me why I can't go forward. That hesitation is just kind of like flinging it back, letting this energy flow into us and go, oh, okay, it's all good. I'm going forward, right? I'm going to go forward as I am, whatever my personal handicap is, whether it's imagined or real or imposed or whatever by someone else or by ourselves. It's time to just kind of begin that march of solidarity to joyful doings, to creating the world we want to live in. All right, my lovelies, that's it. What did you see in the cards? Was there something particular that stuck out for you? Something that kind of came up for you for this week? If there was, and you want to leave me a comment, I'd love to hear about it. If you would like to buy your own pack of cards, the Illuminating Journey Cards, you can find them at JaneDuchene.com/Illuminating Journey Cards. And like and subscribe if you do and you want to, because then you'll get the videos right away. And I will see you next time.